This podcast contains strong language and mature themes. Listener discretion is advised. Hey Kyle, do you remember that part in Toradora where Minori is rolling her tongue, picking the ballot for what the competition will be?
Nope.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to play you the comparison between the English and Japanese.
Okay.
That's English.
Sounds like a race car. Oh, man.
I think
I don't think there's anything I can say that's not slightly racist.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Palmtop podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Kyle.
And
apparently a huge racist.
We're about halfway through. We're getting to...
I feel like we just started this series.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the pace. You know, there's something to be said about the pace of this whole series. I mean, honestly, we're on what? Episode... What was it again?
We're on episode 13.
13? Honestly, like, this is progression-wise where, like, a series would usually, like, well, not like, I'm not gonna say come to its conclusion, but, like, start to wrap up its main plot lines.
It's got a nice human pace to it where you feel like it kind of feels like you are the sixth member of the group at certain points where you're just kind of following their adventures. And then, yeah, of course, naturally, a few months have passed. And of course, now you're catching up with at high school festival. I don't know how else to say. It's just, yeah, I agree with you completely where it doesn't feel like you're being dragged around or it's going on too long. You're just kind of getting the nice cliff notes of the interpersonal relationships.
Yeah, because usually, like, your festival's your crux. Like, something happens between the two people and it, like, changes stuff, and you get, like, maybe one or two episodes after that, and then, bam, you're done. But
yeah, and
not this series.
Here you go. It's the halfway point. And there's so much more to be had. I remember one or two pieces about this finale part to the cultural festival, but I remember more so because I saw it more recently. I remember the OVA. So the Bento Battle is not available on Crunchyroll. It is only available on the official Blu Ray release.
I mean, yeah, it's a purchase, but if you really like the series, buy the DVDs and Blu Rays. I mean, like, it's good quality. You're gonna see like a nice jump there in some of the animation, and you know you're supporting the industry, which is obviously really important, guys.
All right, so we're back from one of the most heartfelt episodes, and then one of the goofiest episodes.
Still pretty heartfelt though. But we'll get into that.
Let's cover the first one, which is the end of the high school culture festival arc.
The end of #dad problems arc.
Daddy problems are at their worst all-time high when Taiga's deadbeat dad, who promised to come back into Taiga's life and show up for the culture festival, watch her be the star of the play, did not show up, which Minori knew would happen. Taiga and everyone knew would happen, but Ryuji pushed so hard for that to happen because he wanted to vicariously live through Taiga in having a father. So watching that fall apart and him figuring out how he can be there for her, how he can make it better for Taiga instead of forcing the dad on her to be there himself was heartfelt. It's heart-touching.
It's a really great scene where Ryuji really reflects on just how selfish like his decisions were. Which is really interesting because usually in like animes like this where you see people kind of try to push people to be a little bit more family orientated, especially in things in like a slice of life genre where the drama isn't too high, this seems like a pretty common theme, you know, like, yeah, you should be with your family, family's good. You know, sometimes it's not. And that's what, like, this episode really gets into. Like, it really just drives that point home. It's like, hey, some people's parents are a piece of shit.
There's a really good blog series by someone called, I think, Mage in a Barrel. And they were talking about how the theme of Toradora is kids who want to be adults but are stuck in that transient kind of position where they have the mental aspirations of an adult, but they're still making stupid decisions, and watching a clearly bad parental relationship happen, and then Ryuji kind of force it down Taiga's throat.
So I'm going to fast forward a little bit into this episode because there's a part of it I really want to talk about.
Please.
I'll recap a little bit. So you have the beauty festival, and then you have the, was it Mr. Lucky?
Mr. Lucky.
Mr. Lucky Man. Yeah. So Mr. Lucky Man competition. And as Minori and Ryuji are running to the finish line, Taiga has this little monologue where she's like, don't you guys know, like, I don't need this, like, I'm good? I think that really speaks into her character because, like, yeah, she had her moment where she was weak, but, like, deep down you could tell, like, she does need them. And, like, that scene really did show that. Like, that they are there for her. Like, of course, they're her friends, but, like, she doesn't see how much she relies on them in that moment.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, there's like a weird layering there where it's just like she doesn't want to admit to herself that she like needs them, and so you have like this weirdly somber moment with her where she's like, "Wow, guys, like I see you're doing it really hard, but I'm good. Like I got it out of my system."
Oh yeah, she's spent in that entire finale. She's kind of like exhausted.
Oh yeah.
Kitamura walks up to her and offers to dance with her, and she does not have the emotional capacity to turn it to like run away or hide. She kind of just dances with him.
Yeah, it really leads to a really nice moment there.
The characters are great because they all want to open up with someone and be there for each other and to have a connection. And that's what Ami and Minori are so interested in, is like having intimacy and openness with someone. And in both their cases, it's kind of Ryuji and Taiga in a way. And then Taiga is trying to shut it all out. And so watching her kind of be like, I'm fine, I don't need anyone, I'm not weak. And then watching them literally fall onto the ground for Taiga. They're like falling over themselves to get to her.
Jumping into like 4 dudes.
Yeah, throwing a fastball special to knock out 2 guys with 1 successive hit is incredible. And then full on bodying the rest of the athletes. So things I liked, little details I liked, were Minori saying, forget about me. And we kind of take that as, oh, Ryuji, forget about me, focus on Taiga, that's who I want you to be with. And Ryuji can't bring himself to, so he goes over and helps her up, which is 2 things. 1, it's Ryuji is still not over Minori yet. And 2, that is exactly what brings Taiga, it brings her back, because that's what she wanted, was Minori and Ryuji to make up.
Yeah, that was like her real issue.
And then the second thing, Kitamura talking with the student president, saying cryptic stuff about their relationship, because obviously Kitamura kind of has a thing for the president.
No.
The blush stickers didn't give anything away.
Yeah, no, not at all. There's no way he'll do anything drastic.
Nothing. So Kitamura walks away, and we audio match cut to Taiga saying, I've never given a damn about him. It's about Taiga's dad, but I find it interesting that matches up to Kitamura.
Yeah, there's a parallel there.
Like, she's physically attracted to him and she's interested in him, but we've gotten quite a few hints, especially in this one, when he kind of walks up to her lackadaisically and is like, hey, let's dance. And she says kind of like, why are you always so, and then kind of dismisses it. I think she's starting to pick up that she's not really in love with him. It's just kind of, she's in like with him.
It's kind of like, I might be a lesbian. That's a great line thrown out by Minori, who just like realizes, wow, I really care for Taiga. Man, I might be a lesbian.
And Ryuji goes, well, I hope you're not.
That is a great delivery on his part.
So great. The lesbian line. So I read into that in my first watch.
So did I.
Because there's a lot of scenes with Minori and Ami in the end of the show. That
I never thought that. Honestly, I think during my first watch through, I actually thought Minori had a thing for Taiga, but like really held it back because she knew that like Ryuji would be the better pick.
And you can totally read it. That's what's great, is that
you can easily read it that way.
I want to see if my Minori and Ami thing holds any water on my second watch through. They haven't really had any interaction yet besides admiring swimsuit sizes.
Just wait, the Chihuahua might be in heat.
You know what happened? You know when you find someone in the club that you hate and you walk up to them and you start like strangely wrestling them with right angles as your elbows?
And you just go grrr at each other.
Grrr.
Yeah, because that's a thing people do.
Let's talk about the OVA, which is the bento battle. Kitamura, his parents are away. His grandma, Mio, makes the best bento boxes and always tailors them to Kitamura's needs.
Guess who doesn't like that?
Ryuji, who, except for the father thing, hasn't really had a lot of like character progression. He's kind of been like the narrator and overlier to Taiga's development. He kind of develops a rivalry with Mio, kind of this like jealousy that she's making the best meals in the school because Ryuji's the cook. So
yeah, fuck you, Grandma. I'm the better housewife.
And Ryuji wants to make a damn good housewife, so he competes with Kitamura's grandmother every day by trying to one-up the bento without really getting why the bento was special.
So I have a question.
Answer.
Do you think Kitamura in this, like, understood what was going on and just kind of let Ryuji have his fun with it? Because, Kitamura usually understands the situation he's in, but this one he just seemed almost too aloof.
I don't think he was aware because Ryuji brings a rice cooker into the classroom for his bento, and Kitamura is just like, wait, what? That's what's going on? So I don't think he was actually aware this time. I think it was such a minute, small, unimportant battle that only Ryuji and Ami saw it, and Taiga.
And Ami didn't really do anything about it. Ami didn't care. It's
Ami
almost like she's
not a fan of bento. I know what you're going to say.
It's almost like she doesn't care. It's almost like she's like a large, uncaring person. Huge bitch!
Nope. Don't agree. I think that was the nicest thing she did.
Nicest thing she did. She literally told him the grandma's name. That's it. Oh, you're going crazy? All right, cool. Have fun with that. Bye.
I would say the only fodder you have for her being huge bitch in this episode, like a huge bitch, is her calling out Taiga's dad in the audience, but she had no clue.
Well, that was that was a different episode. And if you really want to call on that, how about when she calls like Taiga just straight up, was like, "You really think you're that pretty?"
Oh,
yeah, remember that line? Very beginning of the episode.
Did we watch the same episode? I don't think we did. I think you're making that up.
I'm shaking my head right now. You'll see.
Next week is...
I believe it's the standalone episode?
Yes, next week is the episode where people are convinced that Ryuji and Taiga can create good luck for people.
Oh.
And then the other episode is... I think we're at the start of the Student Council President arc.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Kitamura goes apeshit.
Kitamura's getting some of that there development.
Some of that.
He's a little late to the development train, but he's getting on.
But he gets on it.
Dude, I don't want it to end.
I'm really glad we got back in.
Hashtag. What was that hashtag?
Hashtag Lobster Monitor.
Lobster Monitor.
Thank you to Eddie Gomez for our theme music and Phil Vasquez for our cover art.
Do you guys want to hear some more? Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you know when we upload an episode.
Also, check out other shows on Kitchen Bed Media. We have 102 Cast, we have Chai Guys, and we have a few more things coming down the pipeline.
Ooh, what could it be? Guys, we are also on Twitter. Check us out. Palmtop Podcast. Throw it in that search bar. You'll find us.
Hey, Kyle, quick, best girl.
Best girl? Easy. Sanjo Gahara.
What?
Spell that.
CTS.